Okay, so have you ever stopped to think about like all the information processing that's happening inside you right now?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
But what if I told you that it's even crazier than we ever thought?
Okay, I'm intrigued.
What if our bodies and like every living thing are using quantum mechanics to process information?
Quantum mechanics in our bodies.
Yeah, like way faster than our best computers.
That sounds pretty wild.
So that's exactly what we're diving into today. This is some cutting-edge research that could revolutionize how we see biology and even our place in the universe.
I'm ready to dive in.
We're going to be exploring the work of Philip Kurian from the Quantum Biology Laboratory at Howard University.
I've heard his name.
He's been making waves with his research published in Science Advances, and it all builds on ideas from way back when, from Erwin Schrödinger, the famous physicist.
Oh, yeah, of course, Schrödinger's cat.
Exactly. So back in 1944, Schrödinger wrote this book called What is Life?
I think I remember reading about that in college.
He was asking these big questions about how life creates order and complexity in a universe that's constantly moving towards disorder.
That's a pretty deep question.
Right. And his thinking actually foreshadowed the discovery of DNA.
Wow, so he was ahead of his time.
Big time. And now Kurian is taking Schrödinger's ideas into the 21st century, the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology, no less, and basically saying that life might be using quantum mechanics to compute at incredible speeds.
So we're talking about life on the quantum edge.
That's it. That's the deep dive today, so buckle up because this is a wild ride.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with Schrödinger. He was, like I said, way ahead of his time.
Totally. But, to be honest, I'm a little fuzzy on the details of his book. What was the big takeaway?
Well, he was a physicist, right? So he looked at biology from a different angle than most biologists at the time.
Makes sense.
And he was really fascinated by how living things maintain order and complexity. Like, how do we stay organized and functional when everything in the universe tends towards chaos?
Yeah, that's like the opposite of what we usually see happening, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Schrödinger thought that there had to be some kind of special mechanism at play.
Okay, I'm following you.
He proposed this idea of an aperiodic crystal, which would carry genetic information and be super stable.
Ah, so that's where the link to DNA comes in.
You got it. He didn't know about DNA specifically, but his idea paved the way for its discovery. And what's really key here is that he was thinking about information as the core of life, how it's stored, how it's processed.
Information as like the blueprint for life.
Precisely. And that's where Kurian's work comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about information processing in living things today, what usually comes to mind?
Well, I mean, the brain, obviously neurons firing all those electrical signals.
Right. And that's what we call classical information channels, like the flow of ions in nerve cells.
Yeah, that's how we've traditionally understood how the body communicates.
But it turns out those classical channels are kind of slow. Like they operate at about 10 to the power of 3 operations per second.
Which I guess is still pretty fast.
Oh, yeah. Definitely fast enough for a lot of biological processes. But Kurian's research suggests there's something else going on, something much faster.
Okay, now I'm really curious.
This is where we enter the quantum realm. Kurian points to recent experiments that have observed something called superradiance happening in cytoskeletal polymers.
Super what now?
Superradiance, it's a quantum phenomenon where a bunch of light emitters, like molecules, act together in sync.
Okay.
Instead of emitting light randomly, they all do it at the same time, creating a much more powerful burst of light.
So it's like teamwork on a quantum level.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is they're seeing this happen in cytoskeletal polymers, which are basically the structural scaffolding inside our cells. And get this, it's happening at room temperature.
Whoa, hold on. Quantum effects at room temperature? That doesn't seem right.
I know, right? It's
Oh.
mind-blowing because we usually think of quantum stuff needing these super cold temperatures to work, but life seems to have found a way around that.
That's incredible. So how does this superradiance thing actually speed up information processing?
Well, the estimates are that it can process information at speeds of 10 to the power of 12 to 10 to the power of 13 operations per second.
Whoa, wait, that's billions of times faster than those classical channels we talked about.
You got it. And it gets even more mind-blowing. This speed is only about 2 orders of magnitude away from the Margulis-Levitin limit.
The what limit?
The Margulis-Levitin limit. It's basically the theoretical speed limit for computation in the universe, given a certain amount of energy.
So life is computing right at the edge of what's physically possible.
It seems so. And here's the kicker. These superradiance networks aren't just in brains. They're found throughout eukaryotic life.
Eukaryotic life meaning?
Meaning everything from single-celled organisms to plants to animals, even those without a nervous system.
So even like bacteria and fungi are using quantum computation.
It seems likely, which means this isn't just about animal intelligence. It's a fundamental property of life itself.
Okay, now my mind is officially blown. So what's driving the superradiance thing? Is there like a specific molecule involved?
There is. It's an amino acid called tryptophan.
Tryptophan, like the stuff in turkey that makes you sleepy after Thanksgiving dinner.
That's the one, but it has a secret life on the quantum level. You see, tryptophan can absorb ultraviolet light,
Okay.
and then it re-emits that light at a lower energy level.
So it's like a tiny light transformer.
I like that. And when you have lots of tryptophan molecules organized together like in microtubules, they act like a network of quantum antennas, channeling and processing light energy through superradiance.
So the building blocks of our cells are like miniature quantum computers.
It's incredible. And there's even speculation that this is how organisms deal with the harmful UV light produced during respiration.
Oh, right, because respiration can create those damaging free radicals.
Exactly. The tryptophan networks can absorb that UV light and re-emit it at a safer energy level, and the superradiance effect makes this process way more efficient.
So life is using quantum mechanics to protect itself too.
It's looking that way. And, this completely changes how we think about the evolution of intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, we've always focused on brains as the center of it all.
But if even simple organisms are doing these complex quantum computations, it means our definition of intelligence is way too narrow.
We've been anthropocentric, thinking humans are the only game in town.
Right. But this research suggests that there's a whole other level of computation happening all around us that we've barely even noticed.
A hidden world of quantum intelligence.
I love that. And it gets even bigger than that.
Yeah.
Kurian is actually drawing connections between this biological computation and the limits of computation in the entire universe.
Okay, now we're getting really cosmic.
He's estimated the total amount of computation performed by all superradiant life on Earth throughout history.
That's a huge calculation.
It is, and he's
Right.
compared that to the theoretical limits of computation for the entire matter-dominated universe.
So he's linking life's information processing to the fundamental limits of the cosmos.
Exactly. It's like life is pushing the boundaries of what's physically possible. And get this, there's even speculation that similar quantum emitters might exist in interstellar space and on asteroids.
Wow, so this quantum computation thing could be happening all over the universe.
It's a possibility, and it could mean that the capacity for this kind of computation was present even before life emerged on Earth.
So it's like the universe was primed for life with these quantum building blocks already in place.
That's a really cool thought. And, Dante Loretta, the planetary scientist, he's the one who led the OSIRIS-REx mission to the asteroid Bennu.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
He actually suggested that Kurian's work gives us a new way to think about the potential for life on other planets.
Instead of just looking for water and oxygen, we should be looking for quantum signatures.
Exactly. We need to expand our search for life to include these fundamental information processing capabilities.
Like a universal sign of life on a quantum level.
I like that. And what's really fascinating is that this research is also having an impact on the field of quantum computing.
Really, I wouldn't have guessed that.
It turns out that one of the biggest challenges in building quantum computers is keeping those delicate quantum states stable.
Yeah, they need those super cold temperatures, right?
Exactly. But life seems to have figured out how to maintain these states at room temperature and even use them for computation.
So life is like a masterclass in quantum error correction.
That's a great way to put it. And quantum computing researchers are taking notes. They're really interested in how biological systems manage to pull this off.
Like reverse engineering the secrets of life.
And it makes you realize just how powerful biological computation is. I mean, Seth Lloyd from MIT, he's a big name in quantum computing.
Yeah.
He actually praised Kurian's work and said it's a reminder that nature's computational abilities are far greater than anything we've created.
That's pretty humbling coming from someone like him.
Definitely. So what Kurian's work is showing us is that life is operating on a level of complexity that we're only just beginning to understand.
And it's all based on these really fundamental principles of physics, like quantum mechanics, the speed of light, and the idea of a matter-dominated universe.
It's like he's connecting the dots between the tiniest particles and the vastness of the cosmos.
And life is the bridge between them.
Beautifully put. Marco Pettini, another researcher, he summed it up really well. He said that this research opens up a whole new world of possibilities for all sorts of fields, from quantum optics to biophysics to cosmology.
It's like a ripple effect of knowledge.
Exactly. So for me, the big takeaway is that quantum mechanics isn't just some abstract theory. It's woven into the fabric of life itself.
And it's been there all along. We just haven't had the tools to see it.
Right. And this means that our understanding of evolution intelligence even the potential for life beyond Earth needs a major update.
We've been looking at the universe through the wrong lens.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So what was the most mind-blowing part of this deep dive for you?
I think for me, it's the idea that life isn't just using quantum mechanics, it's thriving on it. It's like life has figured out how to tap into this hidden source of power and use it to its advantage.
And that begs the question, what else is life capable of that we haven't even dreamed of?
Right. I mean, if single-celled organisms can perform these amazing quantum computations, then what are the limits for more complex life forms?
It really makes you wonder about the future of intelligence, both biological and artificial.
And how they might evolve alongside each other.
Exactly. And I think it also makes us reconsider our place in the universe.
If this quantum computation is happening everywhere, maybe life is more common than we think.
Maybe it's even woven into the very fabric of the cosmos.
A universe teeming with quantum life, that's a pretty incredible thought.
It is. And it leaves us with a lot to ponder. What are the true limits of biological intelligence? How will this knowledge shape the future of technology? And what other mysteries are waiting to be uncovered at the intersection of life and the quantum realm?
Those are questions worth exploring.
Absolutely, and that's something for all of us to think about as we continue to explore the brilliant order within the universe.
It's a journey full of wonder.
I couldn't agree more.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with me.
It was my pleasure. Until next time.